A girl points in shock, asking her friend why she is glowing. Eri cries out in confusion, her world starting to unravel. A brilliant magic circle erupts, lifting her into the air. Her friends watch in horror, reaching out to save her. Eri's face is a mask of pure terror as she is pulled away. A desperate hand lunges forward, trying to grasp her friend. Their fingers just miss a tragic, fleeting touch in the light. Tumbling backward into nothingness, her world turns upside down. A refined demon questions why a human was summoned by a revival rite. Held captive, a terrified Eri begs for this nightmare to stop. The beast man Ira roars that this pipsqueak cannot be the demon lord. Dangling in his grip, Eri is paralyzed by her captor's immense size. A winged demon chides Ira for his lack of class as another dozes. He scoffs, saying one needs no class to crush an insect. Suddenly, the powerful beast finds himself completely unable to move. The protagonist stands with focused power, wondering if this is real. Her eyes narrow, confirming a dreadful and powerful suspicion. She recognizes this as domination through words, a power to control all. This, she realizes, is the pure, untainted power of the Demon Lord. She warns the newcomers to stay back, for she has Ira under control. Legion arrives, having heard the news of the Demon Lord's revival. He demands to know what new chaos is unfolding before him. A flash of light marks the end of a brief, unseen conflict. Ira declares that in the demon world, the strongest becomes king. Legion furiously accuses Ira of orchestrating this entire chaotic scene. Ira coolly admits he was merely testing the limits of their power. The Beastman grabs the protagonist, demanding if she is the vessel. She glares back, completely unintimidated by his brutish challenge. Eri screams for him to let her go, shoving him away with force. She furiously denies being the Demon Lord, telling them to stop. Turning to flee, she shouts not to drag her into their problems. Legion calls out to Eri-sama, but she runs on in terror. He grits his teeth, unable to follow her command to stay away. She declares this other world and its demon lord have nothing to do with her. Her desperate flight leads her to a forest where a massive dragon sleeps. She whispers in disbelief, wondering if such monsters are normal here. Her eyes widen in absolute terror as the great beast awakens. Legion swoops in, snatching her from the dragon's snapping jaws. He holds her securely in his arms, his expression calm and determined. The thwarted dragon glares, frustrated by the last-second rescue. Legion's profile is sharp and focused, his duty to protect her clear. Eri, safe in his arms, looks up in a daze of shock and fear. Luxuria, the demon of lust, welcomes the cute new demon lord. A small girl thanks Luxuria, while Ira grumbles about the commotion. Luxuria dismisses all concern, saying the process is irrelevant. Superbia insists they simply followed the demon lord's decision for the ritual. The protagonist thinks she cannot entrust the fate of demons to that girl. Superbia, the demon of pride, watches with a stern, judgmental gaze. Astia, the demon of sloth, is nearly asleep amidst the council. A small winged demon finds the entire situation amusingly scary. Luxuria is told not to treat such a serious matter so lightly. Ira declares that being Demon Lord means carrying the demon world's burdens. Legion stands in quiet, resolute opposition to the brute's philosophy. Ira prepares to strike, his face a mask of aggressive intent. His eyes narrow with ferocious power as he lunges forward to attack. Legion remains calm, his gaze lowered but ready for the inevitable clash. A massive fist looms over the new demon lord in a silent test of will. She looks up at the threat, her expression resolute and unafraid. The assembled demons sit in council, observing their unlikely new leader. Legion watches from the side, his thoughts hidden behind a calm facade. The scene shifts to the vast, cathedral-like library of the castle. A young girl is presented with a towering, impossible stack of books. She stammers, completely unsure of what she is meant to do. Superbia explains she must know this world's history as its demon lord. She quietly repeats his words, the demon world's history. She is stunned by the immense volume of knowledge she must consume. Superbia confirms it, stating that he will teach her himself. The scene changes again, this time to Luxuria's opulent private rooms. Astia slumps onto a couch, sighing that she is completely exhausted. Luxuria embraces her from behind, cooing that the demon lord seems tired. The small demon calls Luxuria's name, who suggests they do something fun. The smaller demon looks confused, asking what she means by fun. Suddenly, Astia is in a skin-tight outfit, utterly shocked. The revealing nature of her new attire is put on full display. Her face is a whirlwind of blush and panicked, flustered confusion. She insists she cannot wear this, but Luxuria says it suits her perfectly. Luxuria's expression is one of sly, manipulative satisfaction. She leans in close, whispering that she will teach her something good. She explains that a demon lord is simply a being who is loved. The smaller demon ponders the profound meaning of being a loved one. Luxuria clarifies this love transcends both demons and humans. She asks if being loved without reason isn't the most demonic power of all. An elegant woman chides someone for entering while a girl is changing. She warns Legion to be careful, specifically regarding Eri-sama. She explains that Luxuria is a succubus who seduces with sweet words. The woman dismisses the notion, saying she chooses her partners carefully. A tiny demon flirts with Legion, telling him to visit when no one is around. Eri's expression has become serious, her resolve hardening into steel. She closes her eyes, taking a deep, steadying breath for what comes next. She declares to the horde that from this day, she is the demon lord. Superbia notes that she still knows very little about this new world. Luxuria watches the declaration with a serene, knowing expression. Astia admits she doesn't really understand what is happening. Eri announces that she has chosen this path and will give it her all. She will do what she wants, guided by what she sees and feels is right. If anyone says she is not demon lord-like, she will do her best anyway. She declares with conviction that this is who she is now. A majestic woman with long hair smiles, agreeing with her resolve. She tells Legion her role here is over. He utters her name, Gracisima. He stands before her on a balcony, pledging himself to her will. On a moonlit balcony, the former demon lord gives a final, solemn request to Legion. She says she can leave with peace of mind because he will be there to protect things. Legion listens with a grave expression, accepting the heavy burden she has placed upon him. His eyes, however, betray a deep and hidden sorrow that his duty forbids him from showing. He sinks to his knees in a gesture of absolute and unwavering loyalty to his queen. Kneeling on the cold stone, he pledges to carry out her final command without fail. But a private thought reveals his true desire, a wish he could never speak aloud. He wanted nothing more than to have gone on that journey with her. In the present, Eri sits awkwardly upon a throne before a massive, roaring demonic horde. The crowd of demons is a chaotic, violent mob, fighting for a better view. Eri offers a strained smile, overwhelmed as one demon cheers about making eye contact. Later, the group explores a bustling demon market, the small girl marveling at the wares. Ira complains about Eri's carefree attitude, but Legion reminds him that she is new here. Legion explains this is part of her job, while Ira grumbles about having to babysit. The small girl cheekily suggests that if he's so unhappy, he should have stayed behind. He looms over her, gruffly warning her of the dangers of wandering around alone. He roars that a hot-blooded demon would surely kill a pipsqueak like her. Unfazed, she simply states that she is safe because Legion is with her. A look of sudden understanding dawns on Eri's face as she listens to them. She asks Ira directly if he is worried about her, catching him completely off guard. Suddenly, a large tiger demon carelessly shoves the small girl, sending her flying. In an instant, Ira grabs the offending demon by his throat, lifting him into the air. Eri watches in wide-eyed shock as the peaceful market scene erupts into violence. The action happens in a blur of sudden, furious movement. Ira holds his foe effortlessly while Legion rushes to the fallen girl's side. His face twisted in rage, Ira roars, demanding to know what he was thinking. The commotion draws the crowd's attention, and they recognize their new demon lord. Onlookers whisper in surprise, questioning if that small girl is really their ruler. Eri remains silent for a moment, assessing the rapidly escalating situation. She points a finger at the two brawlers, decisively taking command of the scene. She scolds them, declaring that fighting in a public place like this is forbidden. Both the tiger demon and the small girl are stunned into silence by her authority. Ira watches from the side, confused by Eri's unexpected display of leadership. She calmly stands before them, demanding to know the reason for their conflict. The small girl explains that he insulted her craftsmanship and called her weak for using it. The tiger demon becomes enraged again, shouting that she has some nerve for a pipsqueak. She retorts that he is just a muscle-brained weakling who relies on brute strength. Deciding he's had enough, Ira prepares to beat them both into submission. He lets out a low, annoyed growl when Legion tells him to wait. Eri glances back, her expression serious as she prepares to intervene once more. "No fighting," she shouts, her voice ringing with an undeniable, commanding tone. Her powerful command once again shocks both of the combatants into silence. Both Ira and Legion look on, a hint of surprise and respect on their faces. A close-up reveals her determined eyes, now fully committed to her role as mediator. The small girl looks down, reluctantly admitting there was some truth to his insults. The tiger demon confesses that he is actually envious of her strength and skill. He looks away bashfully, admitting his true feelings to the small but powerful girl. He was just jealous, he explains, and wanted to see her amazing creations up close. Touched by his honesty, she tearfully offers to lend him her prized magic item. Legion proposes a trade, the tiger demon's strength for the small girl's crafting knowledge. Eri beams with a brilliant, triumphant smile, having successfully resolved the conflict. The crowd watches in awe, seeing a new kind of power in their young leader. She immediately panics, worrying that her actions weren't demon lord-like enough. Legion smiles, remarking to Ira that he suspected he would have done the same thing. Ira turns away with a click of his tongue, begrudgingly admitting that it's true. The scene transitions away from the now peaceful market, their journey continuing. The small girl happily enjoys the local food, her arms filled with various produce. Ira explains that the quaint village of Windmills was once a military outpost. He says that villages like this, having seen the horrors of war, desire peace most. A thoughtful, somber look crosses his face as he reflects on the nature of conflict. Eri listens to his words with a serious and understanding expression on her face. Legion quietly agrees with a gentle nod while examining a piece of local fruit. Spotting a human tied to a post, Ira sternly warns everyone not to get involved. He calls the human an idiot, stating they have no obligation to help their enemy. Ira tells her to leave the man to his fate, but Eri cannot bring herself to do so. A bead of sweat runs down her face as she struggles with her conscience. A handsome, armored paladin arrives, interrupting Ira's stern lecture. The paladin calmly approaches the captive, asking if he is involved with the demons. The terrified human sweats profusely, frantically denying any and all involvement. Eri wonders who this strange, serene man is as he turns his gaze upon her. A cruel, knowing smile plays on his lips as he makes a terrifying decision. Eri is utterly bewildered by his sudden and ominous change in demeanor. He lets out a soft sigh, his eyes cold and completely devoid of any emotion. He tells Eri she is possessed by an evil spirit and offers to release her. His armored soldiers move to surround the terrified villagers, their weapons ready. He gives the terrible command to burn the entire village down with holy fire. Eri can only stare in absolute horror, her mouth agape in utter disbelief. With a sharp sound of annoyance, a figure springs into immediate action. Ira slams down in front of the paladin, the ground cracking beneath his feet. He grins ferally, unimpressed by the lightning crackling around the paladin's blade. The paladin smirks, remarking that the demon lord's executive is a true monster. He lets out a small, dismissive sigh, clearly not taking Ira's threat seriously. He claims to be on a tight schedule and has no time to enjoy a fight. Ira looks on, confused by the paladin's bizarre and arrogant declaration. With a casual snap of his fingers, the paladin unleashes a hidden, deadly power. The captive human's neck is brutally twisted, his life extinguished in an instant. Ares' eyes widen in utter shock and horror at the casual, senseless murder. The paladin stands triumphantly over the corpse, his arms spread wide in victory. He looks on with cold satisfaction, ready to continue his gruesome holy work. Ares cries out in disbelief, unable to process the brutal act she just witnessed. Ira is shocked, realizing the paladin broke through a magic spell on his own. The paladin calmly declares that the demon lord will be the next one to die. In a surge of pure rage, Ares' pupils narrow into demonic, vertical slits. The paladin suddenly finds himself bound on the ground, demanding to be released. Ira looms over him, cracking his knuckles and declaring this is payback. His serene composure shattered, the paladin lets out a scream of pure terror. With a vicious, triumphant grin, Ira brings his massive fist down upon his foe. A female warrior appears in a flash, kicking Ira's arm to block the attack. The Valkyrie lands between the combatants, her sword drawn and crackling with power. She declares that Ira's immense power is meaningless against her superior speed. The beastman Ira expresses his shock. He cannot believe her remaining power. A faint, determined smile plays on the lips of the new demon lord. Ares' eyes are sharp with focus, her gaze fixed on the battle ahead. Legion deflects the Valkyrie's attack, sending her flying through the air. The Valkyrie is stunned, uttering her disbelief at his incredible speed. Unfazed by the fight, Legion stands composed, his expression calm and steady. Ares gently pats Ira's head, saying their most important values are the same. The giant demon processes her words, realizing they now share a common purpose. He looks down, quietly murmuring that he finally understands her meaning. The small demon wants revenge, but Ira dismisses her childish outburst with a scoff. He reluctantly tells Ares that he supposes he has no choice but to help. Ira stands tall, proudly declaring his new allegiance as the demon lord's subordinate. Ares' face lights up with a surprised and grateful smile at his loyalty. Back at the castle, Luxuria joyfully welcomes her demon lord home with a tight embrace. She cheerfully suggests they take a bath together, shocking the flustered Ares. Astia tells Luxuria to let go, insisting their master is tired from her ordeal. A voice calls for Astia, who complains about the noise while trying to rest. An unknown figure watches the scene with a grim, determined expression. In her tracksuit, Ares clenches her fist, energetically declaring it is time to go. Ira is taken aback, his eyes wide with surprise at her sudden decisiveness. Legion, however, looks on with a quiet, understanding expression on his face. A small, knowing smile forms as he accepts his master's new command. He affirms his orders and states that they will now depart on their quest. The group sets out for a new adventure to the fabled land where the king sleeps. At that very same moment, two students, Aerie and Kusii, take a fateful step. They are both shown entering the dangerous terminal battlefield dungeon. A grim Aerie appears as narration foretells the meeting of the demon lord and hero. A confident Kusii smirks, ready for the inevitable confrontation that awaits. Legion stands by, a silent and watchful guardian as events begin to unfold. He compliments Ares' wonderful plan, which causes her to blush shyly. The hulking Ira stands by, his massive form shaking with emotion. Ares looks ahead, asking her companions if they should now proceed. Overcome with emotion, Ira begins to weep openly at her sincere conviction. The story flashes back to a simpler time, with Eri in her school uniform. On a train, Kusei notes she's a stranger and politely asks for her name. She introduces herself as Katajiri Eri, and he acknowledges her with a nod. He wonders how she also ended up here, and she confirms it seems so. Kusei soberly states that their priority must be to find a way back home. Eri is confused, recalling that she was in some ancient ruins just moments ago. She looks at Kusei, getting a strange feeling that this boy might be trouble. He grabs her shoulders, excitedly asking if she is destined to become a hero. She is completely baffled, wondering why on earth he would think such a thing. He exclaims that he knew it, while she panics that things have gone terribly wrong. Eri screams internally as a caption playfully notes the hero's sudden rage. In the present, Legion calmly asks his master, Eri-sama, to step back. Eri protests, insisting that Kirigane-kun is just like her, a person from her world. Legion interrupts her, stating that the boy is not what he seems. He clarifies they just need to keep a close watch on him for now. Eri notices that Kusei's entire demeanor feels completely different than before. Legion looks down with a sense of foreboding, suspecting the boy's true nature. Kusei fiercely declares his intention. He is taking her back home with him. Legion warns the boy he will show no mercy to anyone who harms Eri-sama. With a swift motion, Kusei draws the large sword from his back. Legion draws his own elegant blade in response, ready to defend his master. Eri watches in wide-eyed shock as the fated confrontation finally begins. Steel clashes against steel as the hero and the demon knight start their duel. In Legion's mind, an image of the paladin from their previous battle appears. He remembers the paladin's surprise when he first intervened in their fight. The holy warrior had let out a small, intrigued laugh at the new challenge. Legion reflects on how the paladin always stood between him and the demon lord. Back in the present, Kusei's blade is parried with a sharp, resonant clang. Legion easily evades another of the hero's acrobatic, leaping attacks. Kusei lands firmly, planting his foot to regain his balance for another assault. With a powerful cry, he lunges forward, swinging his blade with all his might. Legion sidesteps the reckless attack, leaving the hero momentarily stunned. Kusei shouts that he is not finished yet, relentlessly pressing his attack. He continues his furious barrage of swings against the composed demon knight. Legion calmly assesses his opponent, confirming that he is indeed the hero. As their blades meet, Legion thinks to himself that there is a catch. He effortlessly stops the boy's sword, telling him that he is still too green. Watching from the sidelines, Eri whispers how amazing Legion's fighting is. Legion stands with a dancer's grace, his cape flowing with his movements. Kusei glances back, his eyes burning with an unyielding determination. He pivots and unleashes another powerful, arcing swing at his opponent. Legion's eyes narrow slightly, sensing a distinct change in the battle's flow. Their swords meet once more in a blinding flurry of sparks and motion. The demon knight is surprised by the sudden shift in the hero's movements. Kusei himself is confused, wondering what is happening to his body. A close-up on his eye reveals a surge of incredible, newfound power. He smirks, realizing that for some reason, he is in top form today. Eri watches with growing concern, sensing a dangerous awakening is taking place. A powerful kick from Kusei sends a shockwave tearing through the ground. Eri cries out Legion's name as her knight is thrown back by the blow. Legion lands hard amidst a cloud of smoke and shattered rock. Kusei leaps forward, yelling that he can be even faster and sharper. The strongest hero clashes with the demon knight, their battle reaching its zenith. Debris flies as the sheer force of their blows shakes the battlefield. From afar, a concerned figure with pointed ears watches the intense fight. Eri looks on in absolute horror, her mouth agape at the violent spectacle. The scene shifts to the demon lord's castle, where a voice wonders what is happening. At the castle entrance, Avarice and his companion survey the grand hall. They pause beneath an archway, sensing they're no longer alone. Avarice looks up with a scowl, addressing the intruders he has detected. The massive Gula is seen restrained, struggling furiously against his chains. Legion, somehow present at the castle, watches the intruders with a grim gaze. Avarice effortlessly shatters a massive golem guard with a single, powerful punch. The golem's stone face cracks apart under the overwhelming force of the blow. Gula looks on as a small, winged demon hovers near the scene of destruction. A battered and bruised Legion tells the arrogant demon not to get ahead of himself. Avarice holds him, stating that a power gap this large cannot be overcome. A fanged tear falls from a shadowed face as a low laugh echoes. The demon Avarice materializes behind Aerie, whispering that he has finally found her. Aerie whirls around, her expression a mask of pure shock and utter confusion. Avarice smirks, wondering aloud where Legion could possibly be at a time like this. He laughs maniacally, his face contorted with glee as he calls her an idiot. He tells her to worry about herself while effortlessly hoisting a massive stone pillar. With a ferocious roar, he brings the heavy stone pillar crashing down violently. The impact creates a massive explosion of dust, rock, and splinter debris. From the settling dust, the corpulent Gula and his horned companion emerge into view. Avarice glances back through the smoke, acknowledging the arrival of his two associates. Aerie stands firm, her legs braced amidst the swirling smoke and destruction. Gula's companion urges maturity, but the gluttonous demon only asks if he can eat. Aerie remains silent, her expression hardening with tense, unspoken defiance against her foes. Avarice steps forward, ordering Gula to wait and his companion to calm down. A close-up reveals his predatory smile, his sharp fangs glinting with malicious intent. He approaches Aerie, his voice low as he addresses her as the Demon Lord. He suggests that the power to kill the hero should rightly be hers. He claims they are the same, for she possesses the Demon Lord's power. He tempts her, painting a picture of a world remade to her every desire. Aerie glares back in silent, unwavering rejection of his tempting, selfish vision. Annoyed, he asks if she truly disagrees with his perfect vision, Demon Lord. His expression shifts from simple annoyance to a dark, simmering, violent rage. He lunges, grabbing her by the throat and hoisting her into the air. She chokes, unable to breathe, as he declares checkmate, her throat now useless. His companion agrees. She is useless if not an ally. Gula simply drools. His grip tightens cruelly around her neck, cutting off her last breath of air. Tears stream down her face as she desperately wonders what she can possibly do. Suddenly, a grievously wounded Legion appears, shocking Aerie with his terrible injuries. Despite the blood, Legion's face is a mask of resolve. He insists it's fine. Avarice looks genuinely surprised, a bead of sweat tracing a path down his temple. His surprise quickly melts into a wide, impressed, and dangerously excited grin. His companion screams at Legion, asking if he's insane for breaking their barrier. Aerie begs him to stop, but he tells her to stay back, his duty clear. Gula's companion remarks that he smells delicious, a new meal having just arrived. Avarice's face darkens as he coldly asks Legion if he's come to die. Legion stares back, declaring that protecting Lady Aerie is his sole purpose and duty. Avarice lunges, shouting for him to die, but Legion manages to parry the blow. A powerful kick connects, sending the already injured Legion flying through the air. The horned demon joins the fray, lashing out with a deadly chain weapon. Legion reacts instantly, catching the end of the chain before it can strike him. Gula appears behind him, his massive jaw unhinged, ready to swallow him whole. The massive demon slams Legion into the stone floor with devastating, crushing force. Pinned beneath the immense weight, Legion can only grunt in agony and frustration. Watching from the shadows, Aerie thinks despairingly that she is being protected yet again. She yearns for the power to protect what's important, to enforce her ideals. Avarice raises his hand high, preparing to deliver the final, killing blow. Ares screams with all her might, a desperate, primal plea for power. Legion's eye widens slightly, sensing a sudden and dramatic shift in the air. A hand with long, black nails appears as a voice praises her desperate words. Legion's eyes widen further, a flicker of stunned recognition dawning in his gaze. Transformed, Beelzebub offers to lend the fallen knight her considerable power. Legion asks in awe if she was the one who entered Ares' body. She confirms it with a smirk, noting the hero's unexpected arrival was a surprise. The demon lord and hero, she muses, are bound together by inescapable fate. Kusii is frozen, recognizing her voice and the absolute power of her domination. She casually tells the astonished Legion to stop being so overly formal with her. The awakened demon lord asks coyly if he has been waiting for her return. Avarice stammers in utter disbelief, recognizing the legendary demon lord Beelzebub. She playfully asks if he can still recognize her in such a strange outfit. He insists it's impossible. She was supposed to have been sealed by the hero. She smiles, telling him she has been revived, and now his fun is over. She rises into the air, floating effortlessly high above her stunned enemies below. The invaders can only stare upwards, their faces a mixture of shock and fear. As they shout in confusion, she calmly tells them that they are being noisy. Reaching out a hand, she utters a single, absolute command, dominate. An invisible force slams into them, battering them against the crumbling castle walls. A flicker of Ares' face transitions into Beelzebub's, showing the shared power. She points a single finger, her long black nail aimed with deadly precision. Her lips form a single, silent word of immense destructive power, fire. The demon lord stands triumphant, casually asking if it has been a long time. Her eyes sparkle with ancient power as she looks upon her defeated enemies. A massive explosion of raw energy erupts, engulfing the invaders in pure power. Ira and Luxuria suddenly teleport onto the scene, adding to the invaders' shock. A reliable subordinate appears, a cheerful smile on her face amidst the chaos. Ira stands ready for battle, his expression a mask of grim, brutal determination. Luxuria, too, is prepared for the fight, a confident smile playing on her lips. Avarice looks on in disbelief, muttering that this turn of events is ridiculous. Ira demands to know why they are here, while Luxuria complains about wanting a shower. Superbia had stopped the teleportation device, trapping them far from the castle. Avarice's face contorts with the dawning realization that he has been outmaneuvered. He grits his teeth in pure fury, realizing he has been completely and utterly tricked. Beelzebub stands confidently between her two powerful, newly arrived demonic executives. Luxuria smiles, commenting on the nostalgic feeling of this familiar, powerful presence. Ira admits he couldn't believe his ears when Superbia first told him the news. A quick glance shows the stern, composed profile of the butler, Superbia. The small demons realize someone is missing, remembering Astia is locked underground. A deep rumbling begins as Acedia's annoyed voice calls them a bunch of pests. From the castle's depths, Astia unleashes a cataclysmic blast of magical energy. The invaders look up in horror as the sky fills with overwhelming destructive power. They can only watch, grunting in frustration as their plan completely falls apart. The wave of energy scours the landscape, leaving nothing but ruin in its wake. The Demon Lord's executives stand united, observing the total devastation of their enemies. Gula complains of hunger, while Avarice insists it's not over, but it is. Legion looks down upon his foe, declaring that the fight is finally over. Avarice. Beelzebub's gaze is absolute as she delivers her final, simple command. Give up. Avarice's face is a blur of fury and defeat, a silent curse on his lips. Beelzebub stands over the fallen Avarice, who can only scream his impotent rage. Eri finds herself back in control, suddenly naked and utterly bewildered by the situation. Relaxing in a hot spring, she sighs as she feels alive again, admiring the location. Her retainers explain this special place was a gift created by Lady Beelzebub. In the steamy night air, a voice muses that even demons enjoy a good hot spring. Eri, flushed and sweating, seems overwhelmed by the relaxing yet surreal situation. A sudden splash angers Luxuria, who yells at the beastman Ira to behave himself. Ira roars in absolute fury, demanding to know what is happening on his side. Astia admits she got annoyed, while Legion calmly chides Ira for his childish outburst. Eri asks about the ancient Beelzebub, just as Luxuria makes her grand re-entrance. In a men's bath, a serious Superbia questions Legion about his reckless prior actions. Superbia's gaze is sharp and unforgiving, water dripping from his stern and focused face. He presses Legion, asking if he knowingly endangered their new lord for his cause. Legion, calm and composed, simply insists that his dangerous actions were necessary. A voice from the other side dismisses the tension, but Legion remains utterly serious. The mood lightens as Luxuria happily declares that everyone's safety is what truly matters. Legion lets out a weary sigh, whispering the name of his former master, Beelzebub. Superbia reveals he sensed no malice from the hero, a fact Legion must have known. Legion looks up sharply, asking if Superbia had foreseen the outcome of the battle. Superbia denies having a premonition, his explanation trailing off into thoughtful silence. Luxuria's tone turns serious as she reveals their true enemy is not the hero. She names the angelic host as their real foe, leaving Eri completely bewildered. Eri and her companion arrive at the sprawling human border city, Fort Laws. Dressed in disguise, a nervous Eri follows her companion through the bustling streets. Her companion cheerfully identifies the city as the largest near the demon realm. Eri, still hidden, worriedly asks if her energetic companion is feeling all right. A confident, dark-skinned woman suddenly appears, introducing herself as Belle. Kusei Kirigane appears as if from nowhere, his expression one of complete shock. Eri gasps, stunned by the sudden and completely unexpected reunion with the hero. Flustered, Eri demands to know what's going on and how Belle knows Kusei. Kusei confronts Belle, insisting that he recognizes her face from somewhere before. He struggles to place her, saying she strongly resembles someone he already knows. Belle plays coy, denying any knowledge of him and insisting they have never met. Kusei's eyes narrow as he quickly assesses the rapidly evolving, dangerous situation. From beneath her hood, Eri silently agrees with Kusei's initial assessment. Kusei laughs brightly, dismissing his own words as a simple, harmless mistake. Belle teases him, noting his incredible boldness in front of the demon lord herself. He smoothly changes the subject, putting a casual arm around the cloaked Eri. Eri panics under her hood as Kusei pulls her into his impromptu deception. Kusei quickly invents a story, calling her his shy and scarred younger sister. Mortified by the lie, Eri shrinks further into the deep shadows of her hood. Kusei plays the part of a caring brother, telling her not to push herself. He introduces himself with a false name, offering help to their new acquaintance. Eri remains silent and hidden as Kusei continues with the elaborate deception. Belle seems amused by his quick thinking, complimenting his clever cover story. Though he smiles, Kusei's thoughts reveal his true, grim purpose for being there. His internal monologue reveals his true target. He is hunting a powerful angel. Belle declares she has come to guide him on a brand new, fated journey. Eri listens in silence, sensing the gravity of the shift in their conversation. Kusei is confused by her cryptic invitation, asking her what she truly means. In the confusion, Eri's hood slips back, revealing her identity to everyone. The bustling city square becomes the stage for a fated, tense confrontation. Kusei stares, the truth of Belle's words finally hitting him with their full force. His mind reels, the shock of the revelation hitting him like a physical blow. Kusei shouts her name, his voice a mixture of profound shock and betrayal. Eri realizes her critical mistake. Her carefully constructed disguise is now useless. His face twists in anger as he accuses her of deceiving him yet again. Both are at a loss for words, the situation spiraling out of their control. Belle smiles, addressing Eri with strange reverence as a great senior. A terrifying, winged being appears, announcing himself as a hero here to kill. Eri's companion scoffs at the angel's gaudy and ostentatious weapon. The angel glares down at her, his voice a cold command to be silent. Kusei bravely steps forward, placing himself between the angel and the others. With fierce determination, Kusei declares himself to be the one true hero. The angel coldly sentences the defiant hero to death for his interference. The angel looks down on the fallen heroes, mocking their failed strategy. Bruised but defiant, Eri's companion offers a sarcastic thanks for his patience. He condescendingly offers them a final moment to talk as an act of pity. The battle was a hopeless one, with the angel raining destruction from above. Kusei, battered and beaten, can only glare up in his helpless, seething rage. In a flash, her companion launches a surprise high kick at the angel's head. The angel is shocked, questioning how she could possibly bypass his defenses. She declares that she can sense the flow of magic without needing to see it. The angel simply smirks, dismissing her desperate attack as utterly pathetic. His strength is absolute. He catches her leg in midair with effortless ease. He prepares to deliver the final blow, bidding farewell to the demon lord. But her voice changes, correcting the angel and telling him he is mistaken. It is Eri's voice, declaring a paradoxical unity with the hero, Kusei. The world is seen upside down, confirming Eri sees through another's eyes. The angel unleashes a powerful blast of energy, sending Kusei flying backward. Kusei is thrown back by the force, his face a mask of pained surprise. The angel remarks on the trouble caused by a hero's excessive self-confidence. In a flashback, Eri defiantly tells a divine being of her choice to stay. The being is shocked by her absolute refusal to return to her own world. Her companion watches, a silent witness to Eri's profound declaration of will. She offers a quiet, grateful smile, thanking Luxuria for her wisdom and guidance. The arbiter of fate addresses the young girl before him as the demon lord. He declares that any deviation from the correct path of fate will be corrected. Eri passionately rejects his view, declaring that individual choices shape the future. With a brilliant smile, Eri points forward, making her triumphant final choice.